okay, and you may be my boss, but that does not give you a right to misbehave with my wife. So they could have chosen. That is a now it is a dharma sankar, and nobody comes out very well in that particular incident. But there, Arjuna does one positive thing, small positive, but it's significant. See, among the two Pandavas, two elder brothers, Yudhishthir is an extremely pacific person. Pacific doesn't refer to Pacific Ocean. Pacific is person who is very peace. We could say he's almost like a Brahman Kshatriya. On the other hand, Bhishma, sorry, Bhima is like a Kshatriya. You can say a Kshatriya squared. So he is itching for a fight. And that's why during this particular period, when Draupadi is being dishonored, and she's glancing helplessly with tears in her eyes, looking at her husband's forehead, just loses it. He says, Arjuna, bring fire to me. I am going to burn the hands of this foolish Yudhishthira. It was with these hands that he gambled Draupadi away, and that is why this fair princess is in such a plight. Now, this is what Duryodhana has been wanting all along. He wanted to humiliate the Pandavas, but more than humiliate the Pandavas, he wanted to break the unity among the Pandavas. Now, Arjuna is in a dharma sankat. Both of them are elder brothers, and one elder brother is saying, help me hit the other elder brother. So what is he to do? And he tries to go on, tries to give a moral lecture on them. He's like a father. How can you speak like this? How can you think like this? Bhima is in no mood for hearing a lecture. So he expertly uses the one trick that will work on Bhima. He says, oh brother, why are you speaking words that are increasing the joy of Duryodhana? Bhima is so angry, and he looks at Duryodhana and he sees how Duryodhana is sneering at him. And he stops it. So sometimes you speak the right thing. So Arjuna does, that is one good thing that he does. But overall, this young match is a disaster for the Pandavas, for everyone. Now, what happens afterward? There are many incidents, but we are trying to understand the character of the character. So now Karna, he does later express remorse for what he did to Draupadi. But he yesterday discussed remorse has to be accompanied by something else. What is that? Reform. Action has to be there. So he never does any action. He continues to be devoted to Duryodhana. In fact, he helps Duryodhana perform a yajna similar to the Rajasuya yajna. It is called the Vaishya. So Duryodhana actually wants to perform the Rajasuya yajna itself. But the Brahmins tell him that as long as the previous performer of that yajna is alive, you cannot perform that yajna. Duryodhana's first thought that can be dealt with. But he knows his father would allow that. So then he says, but I want to perform a great yajna. And the Brahmins tell him that he can do the Vaishnava yajna. Now he has no interest in Vishnu. He has no interest in respecting Vishnu. So for him, the yajna is more like a social event for prestige rather than anything religious or spiritual. Sometimes even when wedding ceremonies are there, wedding ceremonies are not so much about the couple who get married. Or sometimes religious ceremonies are there. I come from Maharashtra where Ganpati worship is very huge. And sometimes the signs of the Ganpati deity becomes a matter of competition. So this thing happens. So for him, he is doing yajna, but Krishna and Bhagavad Gita talks about this. Yajante nama yajnaiste dambhe navati purvakam. That means these people don't do yajna of nam, they do yajna for nam. So for nam means for fame. So they don't chant the names of God. They do some sacrifice for gaining fame. So Karna helps Duryodhana in performing he facilitated Duryodhana's Vaishnava Yajna. Now, what does this mean? He actually does something similar to what the four Pandavas have done for Yudhishthira. They had gone in four different directions and they had challenged the various kings and defeated whoever opposed them and enabled them, enabled the king who is performing the yajna to have the designation of being the world victor and the world ruler. So what Karna does is spectacular. Now, of course, the Pandavas are in the forest and the Pandavas are not interested in challenging. Yudhishthira is now Duryodhana deliberately to go to the Pandavas sends invitations. Come for this yajna. And he wants them to see his prosperity. Yudhishthira says, I am currently serving the period of exile, so I cannot enter into any kingdom. And Duryodhana thinks, I will make an exception. We want the Pandavas to be miserable. And the idea is, let their misery be seen, their misery will increase when they see my prosperity. And so he does that for Duryodhana. And in the meanwhile, what does Arjuna do? Arjuna performs severe austerities. He performs austerities, and by the power of austerities, he is even invited to heaven in the self-same body. And Mahadasanardham. Bhagavatam says, Mahad is, in this case, it refers to Indra. And Indra invites Arjuna to sit on his own throne. So we occupy the same throne. So Arjuna, by austerities, gets more and more celestial weapons. So in one sense, Arjuna is preparing for the future. Is Karna preparing? Karna somehow tied his future completely to Duryodhana. And pleasing Duryodhana becomes the most important thing for him. Now, of course, there is one thing before this that happens, which puts Duryodhana in a bad mood, and Karna tries to recover that. That is, Duryodhana tries to go and parade his wealth to the Pandavas in the forest. And that's where the Gandharvas happen to be there. The Pandavas are on one side of the river, Gandharvas on the other side of the river. Duryodhana are on the other side of the river. And Duryodhana comes there and tells the Gandharvas, get out of here. The Gandharvas start laughing. We gods order humans, we don't take order from humans. So he says, I am the king of the world, you have to listen to me. He says, a good luck. And some people are very much proud. What happens is they become very agitated when even some small sign of disrespect is shown. So quite often people who don't respect themselves are most agitated when others don't respect. If a person has a healthy sense of self-respect, then even somebody criticizes me. As the saying goes, the dogs may bark, but the caravan rolls on. So now when Duryodhana attacks the Gandharvas, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? But because it's his friend, he starts also fighting. But the Gandharvas are way too powerful. And Karna, he gets wounded. And he says, this fight is not worth it anymore. And he just retreats from it. Now, Duryodhana says, I will fight against him. And it's a foolish fight. And he's arrested and he's defeated and he's arrested. And then to increase his humiliation further, he had come there to actually humiliate the Pandavas, showing them how much power and prosperity I have. But those poverty-stricken, exiled Pandavas come and rescue him from arrest. It's like two brothers are there. One is a billionaire, and the other is just a middle-class person. And one is a billionaire, and the other is a middle-class person. And the billionaire is arrested, and the middle-class person comes and gives bail. This billionaire is like, I am so proud and wealthy. And he has to depend on the mercy of the person who is put down the court. It's totally humiliating for them. So at that time, Karna, to help Duryodhana's wounded pride recover, helps him perform this year. It's good to have friends, it's good to have relations, it's good to be dedicated in the relationship. But to make any other person the center of our universe, that can quite happen. And especially if that person is selfish. What to speak of is self-destructive. So now Arjuna is preparing for the future. And then finally, the key encounter happens between both of them. Till now, Karna and Arjuna are not a straight, full-on fight. And that fight happens at the end of the exile at Virat. So at Virat, their paths cross. And when the paths cross, Arjuna has emerged from the battle, from obscurity. He was first in heaven, then he was in incognito exile. Arjuna has one man show. One man who is more than an army. And, and the army on the other side is fall short. And although the army has spectacular, has great warriors, Bhishma, Drona, Ashwatthama, Kripa, Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, all of them are there, and all of them are defeated by Arjuna. Karna tries 3 times, and each time somehow or other he's defeated. It's really good. So among all the battles, the cleanest victory Arjuna has over Karna is in this battle. Now after this things move onward, and after the Vanaparva comes the Udyoga Parva. In the Udyoga Parva, the Pandavas are trying 2 things. In military, there are 2 strategies basically. There is a 2-pronged approach, you could say. Right? You can say, try for the best and prepare for the worst. It's a good approach for life itself. That try for the best means that they were trying to resolve issues peacefully. So this is all about the peace efforts. Try for the best. And prepare for the worst is they are forming military alliances. They are going to various leaders, various kings, and they're forming alliances. So now, as a part of all the strategic maneuvering that is happening, there are 3 things that happen. First is that with respect to the Karna-Arjuna relationship, primarily here talking about. So Karna has to also make choices. Arjuna also has to make choices. So now 2 people come to Karna. Kunti comes to him. When it becomes clear that the war is going to happen, Kunti comes to him and she tells him that you are my son. Your eldest one, tell Yudhishthira, he will accept you. Please don't keep fighting for that wicked Duryodhana and lose your life because of it. So this is the first thing. Karna hears what is. He's shaken, shocked. And Kunti approaches him at the time when every morning he will do Surya Puja. And after doing Surya Puja, anybody would come and ask him for charity. He would do charity. Now, in some traditions, especially South India, Karuna is called as Nan. Is very charitable. However, there is no evidence that he gave any charity more than anybody else. At that time, it was the Kshatriyas used to give charity. And generally, it is a Kshatriya principle that anybody who asks for charity, you don't refuse them as much as possible. So all the Kshatriyas, if you see, even Duryodhana, later on in the battle warfield, and Arjuna comes and asks him for the 5 arrows, with which Bhishma is planning to kill the 5 Pandavas. Now, he's obligated because of a past war, but he kills. Before that also, Arjuna, the Pandavas have an arrangement because all 5 of them are married to Draupadi. So it would easily lead to conflicts. So they made an arrangement that every Pandava should have some private time with her. And when they have the private time, nobody else should intrude. But if Yudhishthira and Draupadi are together, at that time Arjuna has to intrude because his arrows As weapons are there in that jeep. And a Brahmana has come to him saying that, please protect me. So that he wants to offer his protection. So he comes in and he apologizes to Yudhishthira and Draupadi, explains the situation. And he goes and saves the Brahmana's property. And then he comes back and he says, our term was that if we intrude into each other's private space, that person will go for 1 year to exile. Arjuna does that. So this may not be called exactly as charity, but it's sacrifice. Sacrifice for the service of others. So now, did Karna do anything extraordinary in terms of charity? We look at that. But the point was, charity is a virtue of the Kshatriyas. And now, Kunti comes to him on one request that please come on the side of the Pandavas. I don't want you to die. I don't want any of my sons to die. Now, Karna says, you abandoned me when I was a small child. Now it is when your sons are in danger that you are coming to. And he rejects her. He says, since you have come to me over here, I will not let you go empty-handed. You had 5 sons before, you will always have 5 sons. I will not kill any of your other sons except Arjuna. I am sworn to either kill him or be killed by him. The Kunti goes away in tears. She had not asked for this. So Karna gives this. This is his charity. Well, it could be his charity. It could be his matter of reputation. Nobody goes away from empty-handed. But she did not. If you don't want to go empty-handed, then give them what they want. He gives them something else. It's okay. Let's not be too critical about that. But the next is then Indra comes to him. Indra comes in the form of Brahman and asks for his kavach and especially his kavach. Now this armor which he has been naturally born with makes him invincible practically. Not invincible in the sense that he won't get wounded, but he won't get fatally wounded. He does get wounded. He got wounded with in the battle with the Gandharvas. He got wounded in the battle with Arjuna and Virat. But he won't get fatally wounded. So now before this, Surya has come. And now Surya, he already knows that Surya is my father. That's why I understand what he tells him. What is the story? Why do I feel so much attracted to Surya? The Surya himself comes to tell him that Indra will come and in the form of Brahman and ask for his charity. Don't give it to him. Now, Karna, when Indra comes, Karna gives the charity, cuts off the armor, his whole body starts bleeding. This is extraordinary. It can seem to be a great charity. And yet at the same time, what happens after this? Now, Indra sees that he's got this charity and he says, you are pleased to me. I'll give you some benediction. He said, I am Indra and I'll give you some benediction. Now Karna knows this. Karna has planned about it. And he said, I want your Shaktis. This is a weapon that when discharged against a person would surely kill that person. Whoever and however strong the person may be. Indra becomes great. He says, few earthly beings can possess this weapon. They have the power to hold this weapon. I'll give it to you, but only for one-time use. So he says, I need only once. There's only one person I have used it against. So now if you see his interaction with Indra over here, now is it charity or is it a swap? Isn't it? What has happened is, see, he has given up invincibility. Now, invincibility basically means you will not be killed. But what has he got? He has got a shot at victory. So now, is that really that much of a loss? From the perspective of where he was living, he wanted his legacy to be defined by his superiority over Arjuna. And he was a hero. He was not a coward by any means. So he was not afraid of his death. And that is laudable. But that is not unique to him. That was many warriors would be fearless. That was how they were trained. So he gave up invincibility for a short time. So it is more of a swag. Now, after this, the next thing, the key incident that happens in his life. So here we are talking about key meetings over here in the same series of incidents. We're talking about the key meetings. So for Karna, what were the meetings? And for Arjuna, what were the meetings? Let's put it this way. So for him, the meetings were with 3 meetings. First was with Kunti, the second was with Indra, the third was with Surya. Yeah, Indra Surya, same thing. That was one incident, Surya and Indra. Yeah, the third is with Krishna. So now all these are happening before the actual war. But I'm presuming here all of you know the basic story of the Mahabharata. Otherwise, all this will involved. So I'm describing it briefly, but I presume that I'm not describing the incidents, I'm pointing to the incidents. So now here, let's see what happens. There has been much effort to try to petition for peace. And nothing has been successful. Krishna comes himself. And the significance of the gesture itself should not be lost. Say now that we have no longer war between Ukraine and Russia. Now, if the Ukrainian head goes to Russia for peace, or the Russian head goes to Ukraine for peace, now who is looking for peace? That itself has a lot of meaning. Normally, the top people will go only to sign the final documents. Before, they'll have the lower underlings go. You negotiate this, you negotiate this. So, as a peace envoy, peace messenger, the top person doesn't go. But Krishna going has a certain gravity to it. It's like in any situation, if there's a wedding ceremony, so in our distant family, extended family, and somebody invites us, somebody might invite us, just checking a WhatsApp invitation. Please come for a great somebody will invite by sending a physical invitation card. Somebody will come to you. But suppose somebody with the eldest person in the family, the grandfather, the grandmother, that person comes with the invitation. Now, that itself has a gravity to it. If you are coming to invite, I cannot say no. So, like that, Krishna coming as a peace messenger has a significant gravity. And unfortunately, Duryodhana totally rejects it. What does he say? I will not give enough land to even put the tip of a needle through. If that had been the age of social media, this would have become a viral Instagram. But in the context, what does this mean? If, say, a person invites person B to their home for some ceremony, and now B doesn't want to go, so B makes an excuse. Now B is making an excuse. Now A knows that B is making an excuse, and B knows that A knows that I'm making an excuse. But at least out of courtesy, is making an excuse. But if B says, even if I die, my dead body will never come to your home. That's not just a refusal of the invitation, that's a kick on the face of the inviter. This is what Duryodhana is doing. And this is after Krishna has said, just give them 5 villages. And after that, he tries to do an arrest Krishna. So now, this is the disruption of the peace process that has already happened. But then, that night when Krishna leaves, Krishna says that the whole world has seen now that it is Duryodhana who has rejected even the most accommodating peace proposals. Sometimes people say Krishna came on a peace mission and Krishna failed. So how is Krishna God if his mission failed? God does not override people's faith. So Krishna has multiple plans, plan A, plan B. So plan A was to seek for peace. But if plan A does not work, Krishna has a plan. Let everyone know who is the cause of the war, who is bent on fighting. And that actually Duryodhana by the obstinacy fully plays into Krishna's hands. His word and his actions just become like ready-made fodder for Krishna to demonstrate that he is the person causing the war. But in the next morning before Krishna is leaving, Krishna meets Karna. And Krishna sends a message to Karna, I would like to meet you. Now, as far as the Mahabharata record goes, there's not been much meeting with Krishna and Karna. And Karna doesn't consider Krishna to be God. Many people at that time don't consider Krishna to be God. But Karna respects Krishna as a great warrior, as a great strategist also. So now, when Krishna comes to Karna and Krishna and Karna meet, they meet on the chariot. And Krishna is going out on the chariot, and Karna comes on the chariot, and then Krishna and Satyaki are there. So Satyaki gets on Karna's chariot and he drives it to time. So Karna comes on Krishna's chariot and both of them talk. So Krishna tells Karna that you are the son of Kunti and you deserve to be the ruler of the world. So come on the Pandava's side and you will be accepted and respected by the Pandavas, just as Indra is respected and followed by the Devas. So now, Karna's life's repression has always been two things. He has wanted a kingdom and he has wanted respect. Now these two things Duryodhana had given. But what Duryodhana had given him, both of these things, to some extent Duryodhana had given these things. Now Krishna was offering both of these things much more to him. How? The Pandavas had a far greater kingdom than Anga, which was just one small province. And the Pandavas were much more respected. They were respected as virtues. There is respect that people can have because of their character, and there is respect that people can have because of their power. So the respect because of power is, if I disrespect this person will punish me. Because that is very external respect. The power goes away, nobody will respect you. When the respect that comes from character, that is much more deep rooted. So the Pandavas had respect because of their character. The Kauravas had respect because of their power. So Duryodhana was being offered, Krishna was offering to Karna something far more than what Duryodhana was offering. And yet Karna. So yesterday we discussed what he did with Draupadi was terrible, but we could say it was circumstantial. It was a terrible movement and everybody acted badly at that time. But in this particular case, he refuses. And the reason for his refusal is worth exploring. He gives two reasons, family and friendship. He says that it is the family of Adhiratha and Radha. They raised me up when my own mother gave me up. And now, how can I abandon them? So he says, they helped me since my early childhood. And the Duryodhana who helped me in my youth. They're both helped me. How can I keep them up now? For the sake of a kingdom, I will stay loyal. I'll stay loyal to those who have helped me in my time of need. At one level, this can seem a noble sentiment. Those who have helped us stay loyal. But let's see the question of family. Now, loyalty to family, loyalty to friendship. Now, would his parents have considered it that he is abandoning them if he acknowledged that he was the son of Kunti? And his own parents had told him that he was an adopted child. So he was probably born with someone else. They already knew that. If that connection is established, does that mean that he's abandoning his parents? Not necessarily. And if he had so much attachment to his parents, so much loyalty to his parents, then why would he resent when people would call him Sutaputra? Isn't it? So you can imagine Krishna himself had two sets of parents, isn't it? So did he abandon or reject Yashoda and Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj? He couldn't be with them for functional reasons after he left Vrindavan. But it's not that he rejected them now. It is not that he rejected them per se. So the point is, this is an imaginary reason. You think loyalty, but this first is, there's no problem. He's imagining a problem. But the second is where we have to question. What does being loyal to a friend? Suppose somebody has helped us a lot in our time of need, and then that person comes to us and says, "Big trouble, I need some help." Yeah, surely, what can I do for you? So I'm in great need of money right now. Okay, I will help according to my capacity. What can I do? I don't need money from you. I'm planning to rob this bank. And what kind of friend are you? And you won't help me robbing this bank. Then there are some questions asked. You cannot answer those questions at all. Answering the question is a trap. The question that themselves like a trap question. Because if you ask some respectable person. So, have you stopped beating your wife? There is no right answer there. If you say yes, that means you're acknowledging you're beating your wife. If you say no, question this guy is still beating your wife. So, that sometimes some questions are not meant to be answered. The questions are meant to be questioned. Now, what is the authority? What is the basis for you to ask such a question? So, isn't it? Say some friend who wants us to help in robbing your bank says, "What kind of friend are you? You're not ready to help me." So, the right answer is not an answer but a question. What kind of friend are you that you are expecting this kind of help from? We can find some other way. If you have financial needs, we'll find some other way to deal with it. No, you have to help me this way. If you don't, you're not a friend to me. And if somebody is going on the wrong path, helping that person to go on the wrong path is not friendship. So this is a completely misconstrued notion of loyalty on Karna's side. So he thinks that being loyal to Karna means, being loyal to Duryodhana means, I have to stick with it. He says that it is based on his confidence in me that he has agreed to fight this war. And now, if he helped me in my time of need, how can I abandon him in his time of need? It's a good point. We should not abandon some others in their time of need. But not abandoning does not necessarily mean helping them in exactly the way they want. So, now, among all the warriors that Duryodhana had, Bhishma and Drona could be considered to be more powerful, certainly more experienced than Karna. But they did not have any aversion or anger against the Pandavas. So Duryodhana knew the one person who in his forces who shared antipathy toward the Pandavas was Karna. If Karna had come over to side of the Pandavas, it is quite likely that Duryodhana would have called off the war. Without Karna, I have no chance of winning. Or even if the war had been fought, a few casualties, Duryodhana would have come to his senses. What bloodshed could have been prevented? Maybe Duryodhana was a bit terrible. Now, curiously over here, Karna says, now Krishna tries to get Karna to see some sense. He tries to say that Duryodhana is on the path to destruction, self-destruction and destruction of everyone with him. Just now, Karna has himself seen how utterly unreasonable Duryodhana is for any kind of peaceful solution. So now, when Krishna says to him, Karna says that yes, I know I know that Duryodhana is going to die, and so am I. He said, I have been seeing dreams. I saw that in a dream, Yudhishthira is dressed in white and in a magnificent chariot drawn by white steeds. He's being drawn upwards in the chariot. And Duryodhana is dressed in black with his head shaved. And he's lying on a cart drawn by mules, by donkeys. Not mules, by donkeys. And he is being pulled downwards. The symbolism of this dream means that Duryodhana is going to die. He says, Bhima will kill Duryodhana, Arjuna will kill. But whatever happens, this is the test of my friendship. I cannot abandon it. So now, is this actually the test? So this is a very important point. Friendship or any commitment in friendship, loyalty in friendship. Basically, loyalty in friendship. What is it? It could mean do what the friend wants, or do what is good for them. Which one is it? It's difficult, because can we really say if it's a parent-child relationship, you can say as a parent, I know what is good. The child may not accept that. But the parents can say that. Now in friendship, it may be difficult to say. But in some situations, and it is clear. So there is, now this is not what we friendship. So staying with someone when they're destroying themselves and letting ourselves be destroyed with that. Is that really friendship? So it may seem that he was being very loyal. But loyal to what? Are you being loyal to your friend or are you being loyal to your friend's foolishness? Isn't it? The friend is doing something, you're going to hurt them. So sometimes people are possessed by something terrible. So are we loyal to our friend or our friend's foolishness, our friend's foolish fantasy? In this case, so it's not an easy decision. One of the driving questions of the Mahabharata is what is dharma? What is the right thing to do? And Karna chooses wrong. Now, it might be considered a praiseworthy choice, but it is not. Now, we can look at this choice from three different perspectives. From the perspective of friendship, we can say clearly it's a questionable choice. If our friend is alcoholic and a friend is paralysis in the hospital because of drinking so much alcohol, and we meet up, I need help. So, I need a drink. That's what got you to the hospital. No, but I need a drink. Now that friend says, but if we doesn't drink, you will die. It means I will die happy. If say that person is already so sick, he is going to die anyway, then maybe give you a drink might be okay. That's not. But there's a reasonable chance that the friend can survive. And giving them a drink that could be waiting for them is not really friendship. So one is from the perspective of friendship. So we're discussing Karna's decision. So the first is from the perspective of friendship. The second is from the perspective of Kshatriya values. Kshatriya dharma, you could say. Now, a Kshatriya dharma, what does it mean? That you should protect those. Kshatriyas are meant to be protectors. They're warriors, but they're primarily protectors. And they're meant to fight for them. Now, here, Karna himself admits to Yudhishthira, to Krishna, that actually virtue is on the side of the Pandavas. That virtue is on the side of the Pandavas. Now, a hero should fight on the side of the virtues. So here we could say that there is a side of dharma and there is the side of path. Now, When Duryodhana extended a hand of friendship to Karna in the martial exhibition, it could be said that Karna did not know about Duryodhana's nature or character. This person is powerful, wealthy, and helping me. I should take that, definitely. If somebody is terribly unemployed, completely unemployed, and some big CEO or owner of a company offers them a job. Now, maybe that company is doing a lot of corrupt practices. Maybe that company is manufacturing weapons which are going to terrorists. Now, we don't know at that time. It's obvious if somebody offers we are in need, we should definitely take help. Should we be grateful? Of course, we should be grateful. In the long run, if you come to know, you come to know. Now, by this time, Karna has seen two things. He his loyalty wasn't to Duryodhana, or was it that he wanted to be a Kshatriya, respected as a Kshatriya? So then he was seeing that Duryodhana was a bad person. It's not just one time, again and again, Duryodhana's devious, this dark character was being seen. So, and not only he had seen Duryodhana's dark character, he was also seeing that how Duryodhana was bringing out the darkness from within. That's two things. So, his darkness was clear, and his effect on bringing out the darkness within was clear. So now, at such a point, he was choosing his friendship over Kshatriya virtue. As a Kshatriya, he's meant to be protected. So he chose, from usual Kshatriya perspective, what he chose was wrong. So he was choosing the side of those who were the aggressors, not just the aggressors, those who were the violators, those who were destroyers. The person who was meant to destroy someone instead of choosing the protectors. So from the Kshatriya perspective, it was a wrong choice. Thirdly, for us, for somebody who grew up without getting respect and recognition, for Karna, that was very important. If somebody grows in a family where, or in a community or in a race where it's always been disrespect, then they earn respect. They are extremely careful that nobody should disrespect. So, from the perspective of honor, we see that he wanted to act honorably. Now, whenever he would give charity, also, it was my reputation. His reputation was very important, and that's fair enough. Sometimes our sense of honor, see, there's a big difference. Sometimes when you use the word pride. Within our traditional understanding, pride is one of the six anarthas. Which are the five other anarthas? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Masa. Lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, and pride. Now, curiously, the word pride has now started acquiring a positive connotation. Like you have hotel pride or hotel executive pride. I have not seen any hotel with the name arrogance. So, because arrogance certainly has a negative connotation. But you could say, on the positive side, honor has a very positive connotation. Even Srila Prabhupada in one lecture says to one of his disciples, who has given up practicing the principles of bhakti after taking a vow of initiation. He says, don't you have a sense of honor? He says, you had made this vow in front of the deities, in front of the spiritual master, in front of the Vaishnavas, in front of the sacred fire. They have a sense of honor. How can we abandon something like that? So, the sense of honor can inspire people to act honorably. So, in that sense, oh, I want to maintain my good reputation. And for that, I act in good ways. That's not the best motive for acting good. But even that is good. I hope this point is clear. Ideally speaking, we should do good action because it is the right thing to do. But if that is not the motive, this will give me a good reputation. In Mumbai, we have a temple in Juhu. It is very close to the area where all Bollywood stars stay and work. So many of these Bollywood stars come on their march to visit. Now, when they come, After that, they post on social media, oh, I went to the ISKCON temple for Krishna Darshan Maharaj. Now, whether they actually came to take darshan or give darshan. They're not criticizing a particular movie star over there. But the point is, that at least they're communicating. Krishna says, "Ye kingdom prakash." If even a sense of honor makes you want to act honorably, that's not a bad thing. It's not the best thing. It's not a bad thing. So for Kshatriyas, the sense of honor is important. Now, from the sense of honor perspective, what is more important? The word of honor. Word of honor means I have promised Yudhishthira. Sorry, I have promised Duryodhana. I will be your friend forever. And therefore he sticks with it. But, if your friend is doing something terribly dishonorable, his choice was between a word of honor or a life of honor. What does that mean? By coming to the Pandavas side, you would actually be living virtues and would be leading a life of honor. So, one of the problems with not problems with the Mahabharata, one of the problems elaborated in the Mahabharata is, should even virtue have limits? Should virtue, any particular virtue, should it have limits? Like say, okay, we are grateful to someone who has limits. But should gratitude also have some limits? Now, what do you think? Like, for example, say in places like Pakistan or Afghanistan, that's the place where there's hotbed of terrorism. The money for terrorism comes from other countries, but the manpower for terrorism comes from these two countries. The people are very poor over there. So there is some very poor boy who is starving on the streets. And some people come and say, oh, we'll feed you, we will give you home, we'll give you education, we'll take care of you. This child actually will get food. If that child grows up and comes to know, actually, people who took care of me are terrorists. And they want me to become a terrorist. They want me to kill some people. So is gratitude to them for having saved his child or not? Does that oblige him to become a terrorist now? No, isn't it? The gratitude is a good thing, but even virtue has to have boundaries. Some people may be very good, but some people are very charitable, and sometimes our charitability may be exploited by others, isn't it? If somebody is an alcoholic and they keep coming and asking for money, and we keep giving them money, what is going to happen? That charitability is being exploited by someone. So virtue also requires honesty. So Karna, what happened was he chose the word of honor. And yesterday I mentioned this point that we need to choose our fears. Choose our fears means whose are you going to be afraid of? So Karna showed in the criticism he was I said, oh, Duryodhana will think that I have abandoned him for the sake of it. Is he the most important person you should be worried about right now? This person is bent on the path of destruction, is taking you on the path of destruction. Should you be worried about that? It's a serious question. Karna's choice was a difficult choice, but it is not. Certainly, the decision that he made is not a noble decision. There are lots of reasons, very solid reasons for him having taken the other choice, but he did not. So this was the time that Krishna says to Karna, Vinashikali, Krishna pulls Karna into a hug, says, our next meeting, Karna will be on the battlefield. Now, in the meanwhile, on the other side, also there are important meetings. So Arjuna has meetings. So now Arjuna's main meetings are primarily with Krishna actually. But there is the first meeting with Krishna in Dwarka. This is when the alliance is to be formed. And Arjuna chooses Krishna over his army. Now, Now this could be sign of his devotion, this could be sign of his wisdom, his faith, whatever it is. So now this is a big part later on. Although Krishna does not do anything in terms of raising weapons, Krishna does everything without raising weapons. So Duryodhana thinks, oh, I got a great deal. And Bhishma and Drona criticize him, says Krishna would have been much better. He says, no, people are never pleased with. So he doesn't take them seriously. He tells Shakuni is a strategist. Krishna is also a great strategist. He says Keshav would be much better. This is not appreciated. Why is it this? But that's just Arjuna chooses Krishna. And the second is that the Krishna Arjuna discussion in the Gita. Now here also, just like Karna, the Krishna Arjuna discussion is much more philosophical, much longer and much deeper. But essentially, Karna also has to choose between two dharmas. He has to choose between his dharma as a friend and his dharma as a Kshatriya. The Kshatriya, he should actually be choosing to be on the side of those who are protectors. Kshatriya should not be causing unnecessary war. So Karna's choice had been between Kshatriya dharma and you could say Mitra dharma, his duty to a friend. Now Arjuna's choice in the Gita is again between Kshatriya dharma on one side and in this case it is Kula dharma. Kula dharma is he doesn't want to fight with the one side is relatives. So the difference is Krishna, Arjuna listens to Krishna. It takes time. Arjuna also has a difficult choice to make, but he makes the right choice. And the same principle now, later on the 17th day, it's very symbolic. Before the final war, again, Arjuna has to make a choice. Karna says, for my word's sake, I'm ready to die also. My word is my most important thing. Arjuna also has to face this situation. What happens that on the 17th of the Yudhishthir conference, Karna, and Karna defeats Yudhishthir and destroys the chariot, destroys the armor, kills his charioteer. And in the next arrow, he could have killed Yudhishthir. And then he just walks up to Yudhishthir and says, okay, and he's sarcastic. He says, your power is only speaking words of wisdom. You have no military power. Go in the shelter of those who can protect you. And he lets him go. And Yudhishthir on one side is bewildered. Why is he letting me live? Other side is humiliated. He's severely wounded also. So this happens when Arjuna has been engaged on the other side of the battle. See, what Duryodhana's strategy is that by this time, Bhishma has been killed, Drona has been killed. So Karna is his last fight. So Duryodhana's plan is that let other warriors fight with Arjuna and exhaust him. Then when Arjuna and Karna fight, Karna will have the best chance to win. So Arjuna has been engaged elsewhere and Karna is going on a rampage. So Yudhishthir flees humiliated. And then Krishna and Arjuna get the news. So Krishna tells Arjuna, let's go and see Yudhishthir. We see that Arjuna's mind is agitated. If anything happened, Yudhishthir says, your mind is peaceful. You go and see Yudhishthir and then you come back. And Arjuna comes back. Yudhishthir has been feeling so humiliated that he has been so terribly defeated by Karna. As soon as he sees Arjuna, he says, oh Arjuna, it is glorious indeed that you have defeated Karna. And you have ensured the victory of our great cause. This is what you have vowed to do. It is glorious that you have completed this vow. Now, Arjuna feels embarrassed. Like if you are glorifying something which you have not done. He said this time, he says, keep to fight with her. I heard that you were here, so I came to see you. His hopes had risen so much. Breaks down. See, by this time, the war has been going on for 7 days. And everybody's nerves are on the edge by this time. So everybody's temper is a little bit volatile. So he says, fire on you, Arjuna. Just coming to see my welfare is just your excuse for not fighting against Karna. You know, if you did not have the courage to fight against him, why did you take such vows? Why did you make such promises to me? It is because of my faith in your words that I engaged in this war. And because of that, we have had so many casualties. He said, if you are not going to kill Karna, put aside your Gandhi Babu. Maybe give it to Bhima and he will kill Karna. Now Yudhishthira, because he's lost it to some extent. He's just too distressed. Sometimes good people speak terrible things. When Yudhishthira speak this word, Arjuna takes out his sword and comes forward to kill Yudhishthira. Krishna comes and says, what's wrong with you, brothers? So what are you doing? Is your brother? Arjuna is conflicted. He says, I know. I had taken a vow. And anyone who tells me to put aside my Gandhi Babu, I will cut them. Oh, this is your brother. But that is my vow. So now Krishna tries to, Krishna is the ultimate loophole finder. And that's where he finds a loophole in all of Indian messages. So Krishna tells that Krishna actually quotes himself from the Bhagavad Gita. He says, for an honorable person, dishonor is worse than death. So he said, you just dishonor Yudhishthira. And dishonoring him will be like killing him without killing him. And Arjuna thinks it's and Arjuna starts criticizing Yudhishthira. It is because of you we are in this battle. It is because you could not control your senses that you gambled Draupadi. It is because of you that we lost the kingdom that we had got after so much effort. You just sat on the throne. It is I and Bhima and Nakul and Sahadev went in 4 directions and fought and won the kingdom for you, and you lost it on the gambling field. You do not deserve to be on the battlefield. Just what have you done except ruin what we have done? He goes on a rampage. And now Yudhishthira is not private to the conversation with Krishna. Yudhishthira is shocked. He just goes on a rampage. Stop. What you are saying is true. I am announcing the word and I want to. If you can win, then you can win. Yes, what did I both his brothers are crazy. Because that's the person he has insulted me. And C4 pacified does not have the effect of unical. And then Arjuna goes and tells. And okay, I had taken this vow, and that's why I had to do this. I did not mean it. It says that, but the musician says, you may not have meant it, but it is all true. Okay, but not mutual. You are at the final stage of this war. Maintain your composure. Did not mean these words. I just had to honor this. All all brothers respect you. Even I respect you much. And everything comes back. And then they go for the final fight. So the point over here is that Arjuna faces similar tests. Like, is your word of honor so important? If Arjuna said, I'll kill Yudhishthira for that, that would have been a dishonorable, horrible thing to do. So word of honor is important, but how important? Is one dharma the supreme? That's why the Bhagavatam says Sarvadharman Pratitya. So our honoring our word is important dharma. Being loyal to our friends is important dharma. But none of these should be made into the supremely important dharma. That doesn't mean they're not important, but they're not supremely important. So then Krishna is the final fight of Arjuna and Karna. And that fight becomes so fierce that the entire battlefield turns into a spectator. Because everybody knows that all other battles are unimportant. The fate of the war is going to be decided by this battle. It's like, sometimes this big translate the world or something like that. There are multiple matches going on. If two champions are playing, it's going to be a fascinating match. All the other players, we play our match after. Let's watch this match. So it's like that. And stop watching. So years fight. Sometimes it seems like Arjuna is winning, sometimes it seems Karna is winning. And then finally, Karna sees this, I cannot get the better of Arjuna. So he decides to use some kind of trick. He says that I have to use celestial weapons. He uses a series of weapons, arrows, rapid succession, stun Arjuna. And then normally when two warriors fight with each other, two especially archers, they shoot arrows, there are three things that can be done. One is the opposite arrow is coming, your charioteer gets you to dodge the arrow. This small side. The second is that you let the arrow hit your armor and trust that your armor is strong enough that it won't pierce. The third is if you try to counter the arrow. But that requires concentration to shift the focus from the enemy, attacking the enemy, to countering their particular. Now, in today's bullet fights, it's very rare that one bullet can counter the other. This has come too fast and they're too small. But it's generally either you are hit by the bullet, and if you have armor, you're safe, or you have to dodge it. So now, Arjuna is stunned by a series of arrows, and Arjuna is really trying to recover. At that time, Karna looks to recover a formidable sarpastra. And he shoots it. And now, there is a Sarpa prince named Ashwasi. He also has it as an enmity towards Arjuna. So he enters into that arrow. And that combined might is something which would have killed Arjuna. And as that arrow charges to the sky, Arjuna sees it, but Arjuna does not recognize. Sarpastra, I can manage it. My armor will take care. So Arjuna continues attack. Krishna sees this arrow. And then Krishna bangs his feet heavily on the chariot footrest on both sides. Because of that, the chariot just goes deep into the ground. Now, when Karna is shooting the Sarpastra, Charlotte tells him. Now, there are many incidents. I'm not going to all the incidents now. He's focusing on something which is critical to the final. Final encounter. So Charlotte tells him, no, shoot in his chest. Shoot at his chest. Because if you miss slightly, you go above and hit the neck. That's still fatal. If you miss slightly and go down, you hit the belly. That's also fatal. So he says, shoot at his chest. But Karna thinks, I want to shoot at his neck. Because what happens is, there is a spectacular sense of victory in having your opponent's neck fly off the head. Fly off the head. It's like you want to win a match and you hit a sixer. It's a match winning sixer is a spectacular thing. But in trying to hit a sixer, you get out. And the people follow you get out and you lose the match. It's something. Aiming for victory should be more important than aiming for glory. Victory itself is glorious. But Karna wants a glorious victory over it. So he aims for the neck. And Krishna bangs the chariot down. And so what happens? The whole chariot sinks into the ground. And then The arrow which is meant to hit Arjuna's head, it hits his neck, it hits his crown. And his crown just flies out. And at this time, Krishna tells Arjuna what has happened. Arjuna thanks Krishna. And now Arjuna has been immobilized because the chariot has gone underground. Now it is a significant distance. That is the distance of almost a normal speed, at least half a meter or more. So he goes in there, and then from there, Arjuna gets on the chariot and he pulls the chariot out of the ditch it is gone into. And he jumps on the chariot and continues fighting. And then the fighting goes on. And then Ashwasena goes back. He says, you lose me, this time will kill. Karna says, I don't need anything else. I'll kill him myself. He wants the glory for himself. And then Ashwasena goes himself. The arrow Arjuna is warned by Krishna, and Krishna kills the Ashwasena, who comes in the form of arrow. The fight goes on and on. Now Karna is using celestial weapons. And as he starts using the most formidable celestial weapons, he looks for the Pandavas, he looks for the various celestial weapons, and he's just not able to remember one. And he remembers Shiva's curse. He starts being desperate. And then he finds that his chariot is getting stuck in the rock. He says, Chariot, move my chariot. Just go. And then Karna starts despairing. He says, why is fate against me? Why is this fate ruining me like this? And then he realizes he just can't fight it without his chariot moving. So he gets on his chariot. Tells Arjuna, oh Arjuna, do not entertain the thoughts which are entertained by cowards. Wait till I am ready to fight it. Then I will satisfy a thirst for battle today and I will kill. So then Arjuna hears this, Arjuna lowers. And then Krishna says, Arjuna, what are you doing? This is your opportunity. Arjuna is taken away. Then so Karna says to Karna, oh Karna, fortunate is it that today you remember the codes of morality. Was it these very codes of morality with which you called Draupadi a prostitute? Was it by these very codes of morality that you suggested that she be disrobed? Was it by these codes of morality that you conspired to have the Pandavas and their blameless mother burned to death at Varnavath? Was it by these codes of morality that you, along with 5 other warriors, slaughtered the 16-year-old Abhimanyu? Those were the codes of morality you have used. Arjuna will use those same codes of morality today. Now, Karna is hearing Krishna's words. Karna is trying to lift the chariot up, itself not coming out. He hears Krishna's words. His head droops. He knows the truth in those words. And Krishna tells Arjuna, shoot. He has used the Brahmastra and shoot it. Now, this particular shot has been immortalized. We often see it on temple carvings and other places. Now, was this unfair? Now, this was unfair at one level, obviously. Yes, it is unfair. The one warrior is having weapons, the other warrior is having weapons. One warrior is on a chariot, other warrior is on a chariot. So, was it unfair? Yes. In the immediate context, it was unfair. But things need to be seen, not just in that immediate context. Every event can be seen, but placed in multiple circles, which are the larger contexts. So if you see, we look at Krishna gives the bigger context of all the immorality that you have done in the past. But apart from that, so this is the immediate context, it's unfair. But if you look at some bigger context, on that same 17th day, just now the incident that I mentioned, when Arjuna was off his chariot because his chariot had gone down while fighting against that Sarvastra because of Krishna's deity. Arjuna did not say, oh Krishna, don't shoot, oh Karna, don't shoot against me. Arjuna needed to deal with that. So what was that? So Arjuna himself had faced the same situation. Now, and he had not asked for the quarters. Now, if you go back further, on the 14th day, Arjuna had faced the situation when he was going to pursue Jayadratha. What had happened was, on that particular day, uh, Arjuna had taken a vow that I'll kill before sunset. And he penetrated deep into the Kaurava army. And then Krishna told him, Arjuna, the fighting has been so fierce over here that your horses are exhausted. They cannot move any further. So Arjuna immediately invokes celestial weapon. He shoots it in the battlefield, but there are spaces. He shoots an arrow, and suddenly in the middle of the battlefield, a lake appears. And there is greenery and there is grass. Arjuna gets on his chariot, and Krishna takes Arjuna's horses there to nourish and rest them. And now Arjuna is chariotless. Arjuna is on the ground and he's surrounded by Kaurava warriors. And does Arjuna say, hey, stop, stop, I'm not ready to fight with you? He doesn't say that, and the Kauravas don't stop themselves. So Arjuna is chariotless and he fights the Kauravas to not stop, nor does he expect them to stop. And if you go back to the 13th day is when Abhimanyu faces the same situation. In fact, it is, you could say, by fate, Karna became chariotless. But in this case, the Kauravas deliberately destroyed Karna's chariot. That, that means the six of them attack him, and one of them attacks his armor, another attacks his bow, another attacks his chariot, another attacks his charioteer, and they basically make it impossible for him to have a fair. So at that time, they stopped. They did not. So, in one sense, Arjuna was paying Karna back in his own coin. So they say Karna had not been there on the 14th day when Arjuna was on the ground. Yes, that is true. But Karna was there on the 13th day. Karna was one of the six warriors who had attacked. Now, there are two more important points over here, which I'll conclude this. That actually speaking, even for Arjuna, this would not have been a very satisfying. Forever, he would be questioned. It did not be fair. Maybe Karna was a better warrior and a better archer. Karna would have been one. But Krishna had a particular purpose. And it is Arjuna's surrender. So, what was Krishna's purpose? There are two aspects to this. That actually Krishna is preparing the world for Kali Yuga. What does it mean, prepare the world for Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga is a time when warriors don't fight honorably. And those who stick to honorable fighting will be destroyed. One of the fundamental rules is that just because you're virtuous doesn't mean you'll be victorious. You have to be virtuous, but you also have to have strength. So India is subject to many invasions throughout history. And one of the main reasons why Indian warriors lost, because they were utopian in their principles. There's a great king, Prithviraj Chauhan. One of the first Islamic invaders was Ibrahim Lodi. And Ibrahim Lodi came and Prithviraj Chauhan defeated him. And he said, oh, I surrendered him. He surrendered and let him go honorably with everything back. And then he came again and attacked. Now, historians may debate exactly how many times it happened. But the fact is that Ibrahim Lodi, the one time he defeated Prithviraj Chauhan, did he spare him? He spared him one time, two times, 17 times, whatever be the specific. But the one time he was defeated, immediately was killed. So, sometimes war is very business. So there are two kinds of niti. There is Brahaspati niti and there is Shukra niti. Niti is ethics. So Brahaspati niti is what? That let's put this as a 4-quadrant thing. That there are the means that are good and the ends that are good. Now, the means can be bad and the ends can be bad. Now, Brahaspati Niti is that we should use, Brahaspati is the guru of the Devtas. Brahaspati Niti is use good means and pursue good means. And that is how we should be. That is how we should be. But in real life, this is not always possible. So Shukra Niti is that in exceptional situations, sometimes we may have to use bad means to pursue just ends. This is not something we normally do, but it is sometimes required. And in Kali Yuga, especially, if the opponent is not fighting fairly, and if you keep fighting fairly, then it's not going to work. So sometimes we have to see again the tension of dharma is which dharma to follow. That okay, dharma I want to follow is I will follow the rules of war very carefully. I'll be faithful to the rules of war. But then you are defeated by that. After you are defeated, thousands and millions of people are slaughtered by the opposite party who's wicked. And what did that achieve? So when Indian warriors would fight against invaders, the Muslim invaders, this is not flaming the Muslim rhetoric. It's just to report history and how Krishna's teaching which he gave in the Mahabharata have been neglected at a terrible cost. So the Muslims knew that Hindus respected cows. So what they would do is they would put cows in front of their army. And Hindus would think, oh, we can even accidentally shoot a cow. And they would not shoot any arrows at all. And the Muslims would be shooting arrows from behind. Now we can call them as vicious or cunning or clever, whatever it is. So they were exploiting what were the virtue of the Hindus as a weakness. That's why I said even virtue has to have boundaries. So now they said, oh, we don't want to kill cows. That's good. But in not wanting to kill those few hundred cows, they ended up losing a war and then thousands and millions of cows were killed across history. So sometimes when we say the word dukhalaya does not mean that there is always dukha. There's always constant distress. But one of the meanings of it is there's always distress. Do not let that in. Dukkha means sometimes it means that there are no perfect solutions. So we have to just accept the least intolerable trade-off. That there is sometimes just have no good choice before us. So we have to accept the trade-off, and the trade-off also, both trade-offs are bad, but which is the least intolerable trade-off. So Arjuna could possibly have won over Karna without this. But Krishna insisted that Arjuna grab that opportunity. That is, the cause of dharma is far more important than your individual glory. And you want to have a clean victory. That is good. But what is much more important is that you have a victory, even if it is not a clean victory. So that was Arjuna's surrender over here. That the cause of dharma, that the virtuous king win, that is more important than Arjuna's individual glory. So that Arjuna surrenders is his glory, although the world will not understand it with this glory. So this is a difficult pastime, and dharma itself is difficult to understand. And it is that in Kali Yuga, when you want to function, we can take principles from Lord Ram, but strategies we need to take from Krishna. If you start taking principles from Ram and strategies also from Ram, the Kali Yuga is too dark age. It doesn't work. So Krishna, what he is doing is preparing us for the start of the. So when you look at the track record of Arjuna and Karna, Arjuna's track record was better. Krishna says, "There's no, don't take any of this. It's finished now, right now." And that Arjuna surrenders may lead that to be a morally questionable action. but it is morally also defensible. If you look at the bigger picture. More importantly, it is Krishna actually demonstrating Arjuna's son. Krishna giving Arjuna demonstrating then Arjuna demonstrating it. That's why the words was Dharman I was at one Gita festival, Gita Jayanti in Boston a few years ago. Not a ISKCON festival, it's not a festival. And the kids were reciting the verses over there. And that's not all from the Gita verse. And when they came to this word, we started reciting it. Sarva Adharman So then I asked the organizer after that, why is Sarva Adharman So he referred me to some book. Srila Prabhupada's commentary has become very popular. Prabhupada's commentary is known as Bhagavad Gita as it is. So somebody has written a book called Bhagavad Gita as it was. And there, what he said is, why would Krishna was come to establish Dharma, tell you to give Dharma. So therefore, originally, there was an before Dharma. So in Sanskrit, you put as this is something as a comma, as the inverted code before. So it was originally Sarva Dharman Parititya, but when rewriting it, one transcriber forgot to put the So I'm putting that there. That's why this is Bhagavad Gita as it was. Bhagavad Gita as it was, but it's illusion as it was, and it is as it is. The thing is that actually Arjuna is starting right in the beginning by asking, Prichami Tvam Dharma Sampurachit. I want to know what is Dharma. So for somebody who is already asking what is Dharma, Krishna does not have to tell a whole philosophical book telling don't go Dharma. If somebody, gets coming from abroad, they have licenses. Okay, tell me what are traffic rules here. They're asking what are the traffic rules, and then should we tell them don't break the traffic rules? No, because they want to break, that's why they're asking. So, Sarva Dharma doesn't make sense. For Arjuna, it is that he's going to face a battle where sometimes he has to give up his sense of what is right to do what is right. So Sarva Dharman Parityaja here means give up your sense of what is right to Mamekam Sharanam. That is to do what is right. So that is Arjuna's strength. And give up what we think is right or what we feel is right to do what is actually right. So Arjuna giving up the dharma of a warrior fighting, not attacking an unready warrior. Hence Arjuna demonstrating Sarvadharma and Pritya of culture. So both at ethical level and emotional level. Arjuna's decision is extreme. So I'll summarize what we discussed today. So I talked about three distinct parts. The first part was the build up to the war. So in the build up to the war, we discussed how Arjuna prepared. So Karna on one side, Karna what happened is he just became increasingly devoted to Duryodhana. He helped him perform the Vaishnava Yajna. On the other hand, Arjuna prepared by austerities. He got celestial levels. Many other things happened. We discussed several things, but that was a broad thing. Then we talked about the meetings. The three meetings that Karna had with Kunti, with Suryadev, with Krishna. And especially with Krishna, his meeting, it showed that he miscalculated. So Karna's miscalculation, especially, we discussed how does the miscalculation at three levels. One is at the level of friendship itself. If you are really a friend, then what should you be doing for the friend? The friend is about to destroy themselves. Should we stick to it? That's one question. Then at the level of Kshatriya virtue, Kshatriya duty. Then we discuss it. What should a Kshatriya be doing? He should not be supporting the one who is aggressor or disruptor. And then we discuss in the sense of fame and honor. He chose the word of honor over a life of honor. Now, incidentally, Arjuna had multiple interactions, but especially his interaction in Dwarka, where he chose Krishna, his interaction in Kurukshetra, where he, he heard the Gita, and then his interaction in the Kurukshetra temple, the 17th day, when again he had to choose his word of honor and his higher purpose. So Krishna expertly guided. And now here, so in some way the situation is similar, but Arjuna made broadly better choices. And then in the final battle, we discussed how the final blow, the final shooting, you could say, it was in the immediate context, it was unfair. But then we discussed three bigger contexts. What are the three bigger contexts? At the same day, earlier Arjuna had been chariotless. Then on the 14th day, Arjuna again had been chariotless. On the 13th day, Manu had been chariotless. So basically, he was being paid in the same combat. And why was it necessary? Because Krishna was preparing for Kali Yuga, preparing warriors, preparing us for Kali Yuga. That actually in Kali Yuga, the enemy often does not fight. And ideally speaking, we should have good means and good ends. This is the best place to be in, but sometimes this is required. It's only emergency, try to go here and come back. But somebody who says, I will never go there at all, that person may stick to a particular dharma, but they may lose the cause of that. So Arjuna, it was his surrender that he chose not his personal glory. He did not choose his personal glory. What did he choose? He chose the cause of dharma. Winning the war is more important than my personal glory. And thus he demonstrates Sarvadharma. So, let us pray to Krishna that we have to face difficult decisions in our life, that our attachments or narrow calculations would come in the way for us to have the courage to do the right thing. Krishna Bhagwan. Yeah. Long class. How many of you have any questions? Time that we have questions. I think everybody has a question. We will be the class. Because what happened was on the 14th night, Karna went to the rampage. Because Karna also felt humiliated that Arjuna had even to kill us. Karna started destroying the Pandava army. So at that time, Krishna told Ghatotkacha, you go and deal with Karna. And what happened? This was the first time in the war that the battle was going on in dead earnest at night. Normally, war was like sports. Like a match starts at one time and everybody. So like that, it was supposed to be. But on this day, because of the night fight, Ghatotkacha became more powerful. Nishaj, Rakshasa, became stronger at night. So he was fighting in such a way that he started devastating the Kaurava. And even Karna wanted to and see as a Ghatotkacha to destroy Karna. And that's when Ghatotkacha's prowess impelled Karna to use the Shakti Astra. And that's how he did not have the Astra while fighting with Arjuna. Yes. Karna specifically told her no tell. So he said that, he wanted the glory of fighting with her. So he said that he is the I only wish to tell him he did not fight. So she told him, he specifically told him that. Told her that. She did tell him after the war was over. And there was no one, because all of Karna's sons were also killed. There was no one to perform a task fight. He just could not hear it. That Krishna is completely broken with that. So I lived in fear of karma all the time, and I felt related to it. He was so angry that how would you not do that? But at that time, it became true. And not really reading this book. Just to read so that we understand what in a proper, proper way. Okay, so what is the authentic source of the Mahabharata? I think there are three issues with respect to understanding the Mahabharata. One is, as you said, most of us we come to know from popular culture, and it's not a bad thing. Because traditionally, also the Mahabharata is a very long book, and people would hear. But what has happened is in popular culture, there is some amount of license is fine, but sometimes the whole story is distorted, and that is terrible. So ideally speaking, if we see something in popular culture that's even questionable, that comes to question, that puts the conventional understanding in question, then we need to be careful about that understanding. So, so popular culture is a problem. The second is in the Mahabharata itself, there are multiple recensions of the Mahabharata. Recensions means that the Mahabharata is a huge book, 110,000 verses. So there are some differences here and there is some conditions of the Mahabharata. And that's why it's very difficult to know exactly what the original Mahabharata says. However, there is even academic scholars, traditional scholars have a method. They call it critical textual scholarship. You compare multiple versions. And sometimes accidental mistakes when they come about, because at that time there was no Xerox or printing. People have to handwrite. Then there's a mistakes will occur. And the Gita is a very small book. Gita is preserved multiple places. Within the Gita, it's very difficult to have interpolations covered. The Mahabharata still happening. So the essentials themselves sometimes are problematic. So when the academic scholar prepared some called something called critical version of the Mahabharata, which is critical that is like the best estimate we have what the original text is. But even if you go to literal text, there is in the public domain on sacredtext.com and other places. There is unabridged Mahabharata by one Kisari Mohan Gandhi. That's in the public domain. It's very large. I think the full 110,000 verses are there. But that will be very difficult to read. So I think what I find, Krishna Dharma Prabhu is a Prabhupada disciple. I find his quite faithful, and it's also very dramatic. It's very drawn me reading it. So I think for somebody who wants introductory reading, this is the best. And after that, this Kisari Mohan Gandhi came down with he was a traditional Bengali who did the translation. And then now M.N. Datta is also a translation is in Sanskrit and the English both. So Kisari Mohan Gandhi is doing only the in Sanskrit, only the English rather. So M.N. Datta is a multi-volume book that has Sanskrit and English also. So I would suggest that rather than reading the whole Mahabharata, if you have interest, you can definitely do it, but it will take quite a long time to read it. It's best that we consult devotees who are addressing those issues. And then from them, they may have already done the research, we have the references from them, we have understanding from them. And those devotees who specialize in that particular field. So that's very helpful. So Krishna Dharma Prabhu doesn't do that many classes on the Mahabharata. But there are a few devotees across the world who have books in the Mahabharata. So you can hear their classes also. And, thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta ki. So much of what I spoke, especially in the ethical analysis, is given this book, Gita for the CEO. This is I taken 10 principles from the Gita and explain them through diagrams and images. So each of this is presented as a conversation between two people. So one person who knows the Gita is a corporate leader, another is one who wants to know the Gita. So how Gita's knowledge can help us in our day-to-day life to become more sensitive in our speech, to become more resilient in facing life's ups and downs, to become more self-aware so that we can know our strengths and discover what is our particular set of talents and what is our calling in life, and how we can become a better team leader. So those things are explained in this book. And then this is prayers inspired by the Bhagavad Gita. So the Gita is often seen as a philosophical book, but the Gita can also become a basis for us to pray to Krishna. So I've taken the Gita's verses, each verse, the key verses, and I've rendered them into English poetry, and so that we can get an emotional feel for it. And then after that, it's a prayer inspired by the words. So this is a very convenient way to have something to meditate on before we start our daily meditation, or when we are feeling a little disturbed or distressed. Then this is a quick boost which can help us reconnect with Krishna and rejuvenate our faith. So it is 2-3 minutes so we can read the prayer and we have a beautiful picture of Krishna where we can pray to. So this is the aid for nourishing our prayer life and our faith in Krishna. This is also available. I'll be here for some time in case you want me to sign the books or if you have any further questions. Thank you very much.
Prabhu be the side while we would be doing the arti here. So Prabhu on the side. So whoever needs, they can.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So please give Prabhuji a big round of applause. Request you to come to GitaMandir anytime you come to dance coach. Thank you very much. And we have some announcements. So, as usual, we would like to thank the setup team today. Brajesh Prabhu and family has done the setup team, so please give them a big round of applause. We have a Sunday free sponsor today, Kiran Kavikonda. If he is here, I would request him to come and take the prasadam from the Prabhuji. So, thank you very much, Prabhu. For your contribution. Thank you very much. So we have a good table over there. Like as Prabhuji said, Prabhuji is also going to sit there. So if you want to take any of Prabhuji's book, then you can take the book and then Prabhuji can sign it for you. And also we have multiple other books at the book table. And we have different type of sponsorships which are available for the GitaMandir, the new temple coming in Frisco. So we have like a sponsor a brick, like which you can sponsor a brick for the temple, and also like there is a monthly commitment to the temple, like you can do like a $1 a day, which is like $30 per month as a monthly commitment, or like then multiple other sponsorships available. So you can reach out to the book table and then like they will explain you for the other sponsorships available. And our GitaMandir Mar is also like initiated a small pizza preparing thing. So like because like devotees cannot order pizzas from outside, so we have thought like okay, let's do some pizza and then like raise some funds for the temple. So we feel free to like order it from the group, or like maybe you can even take the. So we have like pizzas over there, like even like every Sunday, like she brings over here and then like she put it over there. Like if you want to buy, you can buy the pizzas to support the temple. And we would like to know any new visitors to GitaMandir. Please come. So we have a small gift for you. So please come and then like we'll ask Prabhuji to give the gift to you. Please introduce yourself. Sure. Hare Krishna. Hello everyone. My name is Mayur Jain. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and my native is in Rajasthan. So I came to US in 2021 September. It's been more than 3.5 years. I work for GP overseas. And lastly, I would like to thank Pankaj and family. Because of him and his family, I'm here today. Thanks. Thank you very much for it. Please take it. Anyone else, please? First time to GitaMandir? Please. Oh, yeah. Introduce yourself. Always like first time to GitaMandir, but I've been going to Kalasanji temple. So it's a very great opportunity. So I will regularly come. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So our just to want to give an update the on the temple activity what is going on. So we actually almost ready for the civil plans for the temple. The temple civil plans are being done out, and then most probably I think by end of this year we'll get the approval for the civil, and then maybe we'll be starting the temple construction in the next year. So that is the plan as of now. So thank you very much everybody, and our next program will be we'll be having the stand up arati, and then followed by prasadam. So I request everybody to stand, and then we'll take it from. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. One other thing I forgot to one other thing I forgot to announce. Our Gita Mandir is doing Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam. Okay, it's like Sri Rama Navami, Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam on April 6th, Sunday. Okay, we'll be doing in the same place over here. And if anybody is interested to first of all, we need definitely people to go ahead and register for that. It's a free event, but definitely we would request everybody to go ahead and register for Sri Sitarama Kalyanam, because we have to plan the prasadam accordingly, depending upon the registration. Okay. And second thing is you can also participate in Kalyanam. So you are you can sit in Kalyanam, and then you can participate in all the rituals. So please register for that, so that you have all the details for participating in Kalyanam. It will be a pure Vedic way. So there is a priest coming from other temple and doing this. So thank you very much. So we will do Aarti, and then we will take it from there. Okay. Hare Krishna. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड बिंदुवर्धन की सजीव श्री वृंदावन धाम की महादेव श्री मायापुर धाम की श्री श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी देवी की अनंत बड़ी वैष्णव की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की वेद भक्त वृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. We'll have sitting nursing arti now, so you all can sit and then like kids will do the nursing arti.
Namaste
So just don't forget to register for the Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam, which is coming on April 6th. So which is like 2 weeks from now. So it is in all the Bhakti groups and also like all the general temple WhatsApp groups. So you can have the flyer and then the registration link. So don't forget to register because it's very, very important. Thank you all.